Classes, welcome to the online classes once again. So in the previous class, we started with a new chapter, that is the rise of Indian nationalism. Let's define what nationalism is. Nationalism is a patriotic feeling of love and loyalty towards one's country, which comes out when people feel that they share common knowledge, common platform, common culture, tradition and history. So, in the previous classes we saw three different reasons or causes which were responsible for the rise of Indian nationalism. That means giving a rise to patriotic feeling or fostering a feeling of oneness, to unite people, to make them feel that they belong to one nation, that is India. Today we will learn other three, or try to understand other three reasons or points which contributed in fostering nationalism or which gave rise to the spirit of nationalism in India. According to you, the first one will be the common code of law and administration. Now, before the Britishers took over India, India was not as such united. There were several rulers, several kingdoms and various states. And people of these places were loyal to their own rulers and to their own region. There was no such what we call mobility amongst one state and the other. Okay? Now, one of the blessings of the British East India Company, the rule of British East India Company or the Britishers itself, was responsible for the rise of Indian nationalism. How? The Britishers introduced common code of law. Okay, that means wherever the British was ruling or whichever region was under the Britishers in India had to follow uniform law or common code of conduct, okay, and modernized system of government. All had to follow the same laws, okay, and once they started following the same laws, rules and regulations, they realized that they belong to one nation and that they shared a common identity as Indians. Once again, the Britishers introduced new administration system that broke down the barriers of different states and different regions. And all the people of India had to follow common law, uniform forms of administration, modern system of government was introduced. So what happens? All this unites the people. They get a feeling that all of them share the common goal or a common thing, or they are the common platform. As such, what happens? They understand that they have a common identity as Indians, and thereby the spirit of nationalism begins, and they start feeling that they have to do something for the country. So that is the effect of common code of law and administration. Next one, the modern transport and communication. Modern transport and communication. You know, the Britishers introduced the means of communication, transport, etc. Post and telegraph were introduced. Now what happens? A person from one region can go to another region easily. So what happens? That interstate boundaries were unlocked. They could travel from one place to another. And the use of modern transport and communication helped in giving or increasing or giving birth to the spirit of nationalism. Now, because of the introduction of modern transport and communication, the first thing what happens is caste barrier breaks down. people belonging to the different class or different caste in the society who were traveling in the same vehicle. So what happens? That breaks down the caste barrier. Then what happens? People become closer to one another. Then they slowly realize that they share the common platform. Okay, once again, same thing. Common, all of them have the common aspiration or dreams and goals. Okay, and that when it happens, they feel that they belong to one country, not a small region or a state. They realize that they belong to one country and they have one identity, that is being an Indian. Once again, modern transparent communication was introduced by the British, where railways, post and telegraphs were introduced. Because of the introduction of all modern transparent communication, what happens? First thing, caste barriers break down. People start coming closer to one another. Okay? And they realize that they have common problems. All of them have common problems. Or a problem of one person of one state is similar to the problem shared by the other person from another region. So what happens? They realize that they share common problems and they have common aspirations and common goals. And then what happens? The feeling of belongingness to one country starts growing in amongst the people, thereby inculcating the spirit of nationalism. Got it? Now the third one, vernacular press and literature. Vernacular press and literature. Now this vernacular press or press was one of the most important medium used by the educated Indians to criticize the administration and the policies of the British government which was going on in India. And the vernacular press and literature literally for the books and poems and all, brought a lot of awareness amongst the people. Okay? Press became a powerful medium in fostering the spirit of nationalism. Though few in number, the educated Indians started explaining or teaching the common people in the different states and villages about the modern system of government, about nationalism, about democracy, freedom, liberty, equality. All these concepts were explained through press and literature to the common people. So therefore, the press becomes a powerful medium to foster the spirit of nationalism. Now, novels were written, there were newspapers, there were poems, and there were other mediums through which people were made aware or people were inspired and help them to what you call install or help them to inculcate or develop the spirit of nationalism. Vernacular press plays a very, very important role. And as time goes on, many people started writing novels, poems, etc., which inspire the common people. It filled them with imagination as to what would happen, what we could do, what we can achieve when we rule our own country, when the Britishers are sent away from the country. All this aspiration and imagination was created by the vernacular press. And one of the most important national we have got is Vande Mataram, written by Bankim Chandra. They help the people from the very first day till the end to develop the spirit of nationalism, to inculcate the spirit of patriotism for the country. Got it? So today I have discussed about the other three factors or the three reasons or factors that helped in inculcating the spirit of nationalism or developing a patriotic feeling for the country. The first one I have told you is a common code of law and administration. Second one, how modern transparent communication helped in developing the spirit of nationalism. Then third one, how the vernacular press and literature also play a very, very important role in fostering the spirit of nationalism. In the next class, I will be taking one or two other important political factors. There are many others which I have skipped. I just want you to know the more important ones. After that, next class we will be seeing 2-3 factors, okay, that were responsible. Then finally we will be seeing one important topic, that is the rise of International Congress. Okay, so this much for today. Please do follow the classes. Good luck and a good day. Thank you.